Welcome to my channel. I'm Emily, the Petite Beauty blogger, and in today's video I'll be showing you how to do a nice look that won't transfer onto your mask. Now, masks are compulsory at the moment, especially in shops and buses, but that does not mean you can't wear makeup out of fear maybe that it's going to get sweaty and be a mess and it's going to slide all over the place. I have fine-tuned my makeup to an art where I can wear makeup as long as I like with a mask, and it does not transfer. Now, a few people have already done this video. I know Jackie Anna did it and I loved it, so I just thought I'd show you my tips and tricks on how I keep my face mask nice and clean whilst I have to wear it. So if you like my mask and want to get one of your own, this is from Skinny Dip. They have a really good big range of masks and they are all one size fits all. But what you can do if you feel like it's a bit too loose is that you can pull it to tighten it, because it's got a little loop there. And Skinny Dip is my favourite brand in the entire world. It's obviously not makeup. I own a lot of their bags, I own a lot of their jewellery, many of their sunglasses. They're a really good brand, and my earrings today are from Skinny Dip. Let's zoom in. I'll zoom in a bit closer. And if you didn't know, they say extra because that is what I am. And they are just really fun and really cute. And they are a really fun brand. You're not going to get anything boring with them. And yeah, that's where I got my mask from. So I've started off with a nice clean face. I've done everything I normally do. I cleanse, I moisturise, and one thing I'm going to start off with, which really helps me, I find if I do my makeup in a hot environment, my room does get quite hot, and I feel like when I get hot I get sweaty, and that is just going to make my makeup just get oily and then slip everywhere. So this isn't necessarily a makeup trick, but I do like to have my fan on whilst I'm doing my makeup, just because it cools me down and helps me with my makeup. I don't know if it will work for everyone, but that does work for me. So the first product I am going in with is the NYX Honey Dew Me Up Primer. Now this is a good one for keeping makeup on because it's a bit more sticky than a lot of primers. I usually like my moisturising primer, but as I'm wearing a mask all the time I feel like it's a bit too dewy, so I like to go in with a stickier primer to help my makeup stick a bit better to my skin. So as you can see, I don't know if you've ever seen it before, but it's called honey obviously for a reason, because it is like honey and it has got some gold flakes in it. I don't think they really do much apart from make the product look a bit more bougie. So I'm going to use the paddle or the spatula that it comes with, and I'm just going to do one swipe for each section of my face because it does spread quite well and you don't really need much for it to go a long way. So, and one thing I find when I start massaging it out, it goes quite watery and liquidy, which I find really strange because obviously the product is, you know, wow, it feels like honey. So I've let my primer get a bit tacky, and as you can see it's a very sticky kind of primer, which will be perfect for making it non-transferable. So of course I'm going to go with my Fenty Beauty 145 Pro Filter Foundation, and this time I am going to apply it with a sponge because I just like the way it presses into the skin. So I'm just going to take it lightly. I don't want to put on too much product because you're going to have to set it, so you know, take it lightly. So now I'm just going to do my normal concealer routine, but I'm not going to put on as much. So I'm going to do a couple of dots here and a couple of dots here. Then I do like to wait about 30 seconds for it to dry a bit more, because when it dries a bit it goes a bit more full coverage, and as I haven't put on too much today, I still want it to be full coverage, but I don't want it to be too much product because I don't want it slip sliding about everywhere. So as you can see, it's still got some of that thick coverage. I like to leave my under eye to the last bit because I feel like that's the place that needs the most coverage and brightening. That's where I show most of my fatigue and when I'm tired. And I do like to bring it up my nose slightly, just to open up my eye area. Or sometimes what I like to do, if you are struggling to get right up in the inner corner, I like to sometimes close my eyes. That's a easy way of doing it. And not only that, the excess concealer that goes on your eyes with powder. Now for this I am going to use a bit more powder because obviously I'm trying to set it as much as I can, and I'm going to set it quick because I don't want my eyeshadow or anything to crease. So I am going to use the other end, or just a sponge. I wash it after every use because I use so much product on it. I don't want that getting all clogged up. So make sure you do wash your sponges. I know it's a bit harder and it takes time, but your skin will thank you for it. There we go. Couldn't get enough product out. So I like to put thick powder where I have put my concealer, and then I'll go in with a brush everywhere else because I don't want it to look too cakey, but I do need to set where I put extra product. For the excess powder I'm going in with the Real Techniques 400, and I love this. It's super fluffy and really nice to use, and it's super soft. When I first got it I was just going like this therapeutically. I don't know if anyone else does that with their brushes, but I do. So I'm going to do a light dusting. Just around here and down my neck. Make sure you do extra down your neck, because when you wear your mask sometimes I feel like breath can go all the way down here and start to smudge down there, make it sweaty. So I went off camera, as you can see I've done my brows, and what I made sure I did is I set it with the NYX Control Free eyebrow gel, and not only is that going to groom my brows, but it's also going to hold them in place. Now what I'm going to do now is go back in with that Real Techniques 400 and just brush off all the excess product. And for my contour I'm going in with the Studio Pro Shade and Define 10 Colour Contour Palette by BH Cosmetics, and I'm going to apply it using the Spectrum A04 brush, and this is a really good contour and bronzer brush because it's so fluffy and it's really easy to apply using it. So what I am going to do is I'm going to use a mixture of the lightest colour and the second lightest, because I kind of like the warmth in that, but I don't want it to be too dark because I've got very light skin. So what I like to do is I like to just dab between the two like so and tap. Now moving on to lips, I do like to go in with a matte lip, obviously, because I don't want it transparent at all. So for lip liner today, I'm going in with NYX. Their lip liners are insane. I own a few of them. They are really, really good, and I like to use these in my pro kit because they work just as well as the expensive ones, but they're half the price. So if you do have a pro kit, I like to, you know, bulk buy these because pro kits are expensive and these are super useful. And this is in the colour Sandstorm. So I'm going to move in. For the middle, I'm going in with the I Heart Makeup, which I think's a Revolution brand, called Lip Lava. Now I know what you're thinking, why is she putting on so much lipstick if you're wearing a mask? Well, I love lipstick, and of course you're not always going to have your mask on, so when you take it off you don't want to have stark white nude lips with a full done face. That is just going to look mental. But one trick, which is a bit unique and different, what I like to do is, if you find your lipstick is a bit too satin, you can set it obviously with your powder, but if you want coverage with colour, this is going to sound really weird to some people, I use either a brown contour or eyeshadow, or whatever colour you've got, and yeah, it may feel a bit weird, but it really does set your lips down. One thing I totally forgot to do, because I'm an idiot, is blush. I'm starting to get into blush now. I know for a while I just wasn't really into it, I didn't really enjoy it, but now I'm like a born again lover of powder. So because my look today is more tanned and bronzy and not very pink, I am going to go in with Bang Bang, which is a very peachy orange colour. Yeah, it's not too much, it's just the right amount, but I do like to put it a tiny bit everywhere just so it blends with my face. The rest of my All I'm going to do now is a tiny bit of eyeshadow, and then I will come back. So as you can see, I just got off camera and I just did a light eye. I didn't really want to go too crazy today, I wanted to be simple. So all I've done is just a bit of eyeshadow and mascara. So moving on to the highlight, of course there always has to be highlight in my videos, and of course as always it's the Ice one from Makeup Revolution or Revolution Pro. It's the best highlighter I've ever used, and I bought it for about £6. I don't know if they still sell it, but I'm just going to keep using this till I find a better one. So for setting spray, I do want to go on something a bit heavy duty that's going to set it completely. So I'm going to go in with the MAC Fix Plus in Gold Light, and I like this one because, you know, the MAC Fix Plus is just good, but this, obviously, I've shown this to you many times, but it still gets me every single time with that glitter inside that just is absolutely stunning and so therapeutic to watch. With my fan to lock it in. So there we go, I have completed the look, and this is going to help this whole video was to help you keep your makeup on with a mask so it doesn't transfer. So the tips I would have is, one, use a stickier primer, maybe a more of a drying one but still sticky. So I used the Honey Dew Me Up. Obviously use a foundation that is that's not going to slip slide about. Obviously when I do my skincare, I forgot to mention earlier, I don't like to use too much oil, because oil for me creates more oil on my skin naturally as well, so that's going to make my makeup obviously slip slide about. And the best tip I can give you is powder the hell out of your face, because that's going to help set it. Use a matte lipstick obviously, because that's not going to transfer as much. And yeah, I just suggest using more powdery products. And of course I'm going to do the test. So here is my mask. It's from Skinny Dip, and I think it's called Paisley design. I'm not entirely sure. I tried to Google it, but it's confusing. So it's super cute, and I wear this one a lot. I thought it looked quite cool. So I've got my mask on. I'm going to keep it on for about 5 minutes, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you the results. So I'm back. It's been about 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it off, and we're going to see what it looks like underneath. Ta-da! Looking pretty good to me. And obviously the biggest check we need to check is the makeup to see whether it stayed underneath the mask, because obviously we don't want it transferring onto this. But then also if it's transferring onto this, there's going to be makeup that's come off, so we don't want to have any patchy bits. So let's just double check. No, it's looking pretty good. The nose is obviously one of the main issues, because this is constantly pressed against it, and I find problems with my lips sometimes where they, obviously where they naturally bulge out, they're going to obviously just knock into the mask. But I'm pretty happy with that. So, thanks for watching. I am going to upload some more mask videos soon. If you'd like to see maybe looks to do with masks and have some fun with that, then please comment down below. And if you have any requests or ideas for videos, obviously I love taking inspiration, from all around. So if you have any suggestions, then also comment down below and I'll credit you. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next video.